Back in May, this pond was alive with sound. American toads gathered here, piling up on each other, each trilling their hearts out to compete for mates. Now, just a couple weeks later, I came back to find something entirely different. At first glance, it looked like the pond was on a slow boil, the surface bubbling and rippling as if it were simmering over a quiet fire. But it wasn't heat causing it, it was life. Thousands of tiny black tadpoles, newly hatched American toads. These tadpoles are small, black, with short tails, and they stick together in tight groups along the warm shallows. It's mesmerizing to watch the way their movement ripples outwards across the pond's skin. And watching them was this green frog. Now, at first, it seemed to just sit there, barely moving, but then it began to creep forward, and I was intrigued, inching its way among the tadpoles. Every so often, it would lunge, and I wondered, is it really eating them? Now, something else caught my eye. When it blinked, its eyes seemed to sink down into its head, almost as if it was swallowing with its eyes. And, after doing some research, I discovered it was. Apparently, frogs do not have the same swallowing muscles we do. Instead, when they catch prey, they blink and their eyeballs sink down into their mouth cavity to help push the food down their throat. Who knew that you could solve digestive issues with eyeballs? At least in the amphibian world. Oh, and one more thing. Apparently, even when they're not feeding, frogs may occasionally blink this way to moisten their eyes or clear debris. So, yes, if this green frog did snack on a tadpole or two, its eyes disappearing was part of the final gulp. In the warm shallows, so many of them were lined up neatly along sticks and logs just beneath the water surface. It was funny to watch, as if everyone wanted to wriggle their way into the lineup, like musical chairs minus the chairs. Some were even gathering directly under the green frog, sitting there blissfully unaware of the danger lurking above them. These tadpoles looked very different from the green frog tadpoles swimming nearby. Here I want to show you how you can tell them apart. Like I mentioned before, the American toad tadpoles are small, jet black or dark brown, and they prefer shallow edges gathering in dense groups. The green frog tadpoles, on the other hand, are much larger, even as juveniles, and they are greenish to olive with lighter bellies and gold flecks. In late June, I found the most magical sight of all. Teeny tiny toadlets, no bigger than my pinky, hopping just outside the pond. They're so small, they don't even look real. They're like little moving freckles in the grass or walking fly-sized shadows darting out of the way. Now, one thing I was able to notice because of my zooming in with the camera and seeing it on video afterwards was their eyes. Their eyes had a reddish glow, which is different from sort of the golden bronze of the adult eyes. One of the things that stood out to me the most was the shape of their head. You know, these young toads have proportionally broader heads with angular snouts that look geometric almost until their bodies catch up in growth. Again, through my research, I discovered that despite their size, these toadlets are already producing mild toxins to deter predators. So they may be tiny, fragile, but they're also powerful all at once. Just imagine, these fragile specks will soon grow into trilling toads of their own. Tiny trills, blinking gulps, and toadlets the size of a pinky nail. This is the wonder waiting right where you are. And this is Birding with Kaliopi. Thank you so much for following along, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button and maybe even sharing this video. See you in the next one.